Hey, so this is the start of something new for me. I'm going to be documenting my journey of building a business. And I'm going to do that by creating these vlogs. They're going to be part of my Born to Build podcast. And it's going to be pretty rough, pretty raw, unedited, so not polished at all, but essentially a weekly, almost like a diary, a journal of how I'm building a business. And I'm doing it in public. You can follow along and yeah, just kind of get some insight and a little bit of behind the scenes view of my life trying to build this business. So it's going to be, like I said, unedited, uncut. I'm going to try and keep it as real and raw as possible. And so, yeah, what you see is what you get pretty much. So, but let me take you back to kind of the early spark, probably at the beginning of this year. Specifically, I started praying about starting a business. It's been something that's been on my heart for many years, and did start a business some years ago. But actually, I was also surprised that probably the last 9 years or so, I've actually been employed. And didn't realize that I was going to be employed for that long, as I always thought I'd rather be building something myself. But having been part of a kind of a startup for many years, with all the ups and downs and being kind of one of the early employees there, it kind of scratched that itch. I was able to really be part of that founding journey as well. So that's been beautiful and that's been wonderful. But like I said, at the beginning of this year, really started praying into God, what is next for me? I guess maybe a little bit to do with my turning 40 last year, a bit of midlife crisis maybe. But yeah, so I started praying. I actually did a 21-day Daniel fast as well at the beginning of the year to really pray into this more, to hear God. And I wanted to really just hear from him. Wanted to be sure that this wasn't just my idea, but something that he was placing on my heart, and I wanted it to be something with purpose. Ultimately, my conviction is that Africa really needs entrepreneurs, and specifically small to medium sized businesses. I really believe drive growth and drive employment. And that's really, really the problem here in South Africa and the broader Africa is that unemployment is ridiculously high, 33% in South Africa at the moment, I believe. So it's a crisis. It's something that really we can't ignore, and we can't wait for others to try and fix it. Can't wait for government. Can't wait for big corporates either. And I really believe small to medium sized businesses have the ability to employ, first of all, but also they are a lot more agile, but big enough to have an impact as well. So that's really my passion is that space of small to medium sized businesses, and seeing that have an impact across Africa. And that's also really why I started this podcast, really to listen to stories from builders, listen to stories from entrepreneurs that are building businesses, small to medium sized businesses here in Africa. So that's really the passion, and hopefully you share that passion as well. So fast forward a couple of weeks, months of praying, I really felt God saying it's time to step out of the boat, and by that was meant that the library boat, essentially, for me that was. We often used actually a boat as a picture for library as well, a ship breaking through ice and journeying through new frontiers. Um, but yeah, I got this Bible verse about Peter stepping out of the boat, and God was calling me to step out of the library boat. And that obviously took a lot of faith for Peter to step out of that boat, but also in a way, the miracle was already happening when he stepped out the boat because Jesus was walking on water. So he was stepping towards Jesus, and Jesus had called him to step out. And so, yeah, I really feel like that's what Jesus was doing with me, wanting me to step out of the boat and take a step of faith. So yeah, I had some good conversations with the founders of Library, the company that I work for, and I shared what was on my heart and what I felt I should be doing. And they've been amazingly supportive. They've been really wonderful. So I've been able to step down a little bit, moved to 4 days a week from 5 days full time, just allowing me some time to start building my own things, start dreaming, start thinking, started this podcast. But I also wanted to then start having time to actually build something in the more shorter term. There are some longer term dreams, which I'll also share in this weekly blog as well. But in the shorter term, I wanted to build a company here in South Africa. And I'll also reveal more of that in the next week, probably. But why do these vlogs? So essentially, it's a little bit about accountability. So putting it out there for others to kind of view keeps me accountable and keeps me consistent at building and building this business. A bit of transparency as well, sharing the real kind of messy process of building a business. That it's not always going to be, smelling the roses. It's going to be tough and hard, and I think that's helpful for others to see as well. And that's why I also don't want to make this vlog too edited. It's going to be raw. It's going to be real. So, and hopefully others can learn from and essentially be inspired as well a little bit by this process. Hopefully others can learn with me as I'm learning, because I certainly don't know much at all about anything. And so I'm just learning every day, and will be continue to learn, and be fun to do that with others and learn from others as well. Again, another reason why I started this podcast, Born to Build podcast, is really to learn from others. Hopefully others listening in, joining me on this journey, will be able to learn as well with me. So next week, I will share a little bit about, like I said, the bigger dream and the longer term dream for me. And then also more specifically, the company that I'm about to start building. So yeah, follow along. I'll upload these onto LinkedIn, but also will be on the Born to Build podcast on a weekly basis. And like I said, this is a fairly new idea. So I don't even know if it's going to be on a specific day. Probably I'll post these on a specific day eventually. But right now, this is week 1, and we'll see how things go from here. Hopefully you enjoy.